Trans-identifying student shocks Charlie Kirk with a surprising admission. This is an interesting one, guys. I think you're gonna enjoy it, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, everybody, please make sure you like our video, share it around, and subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel. Why subscribe? So we can keep bringing you guys these informative discussions, which I know we all love and enjoy. I'm your host, Arian. Let's get right into it.
I gotta say, I'm pretty confused. I kind of want to tell you about my situation because I've been a little confused lately about kind of like myself. I came here and I've been considering things a lot more, and I kind of present a little more feminine, but I actually was born a man, and
Okay.
I wanted to know, like I personally, like pronouns, I've been trying to think about it, but I wanted to know what your thoughts are on like me, like what do you think, what path do you think I should go down? Like what is your advice?
Sure. Okay, so you were born a man, so XY chromosomes. And did you go through surgery, or did you
Not
take
yet.
puberty blockers?
Yes, I did.
What age did you take puberty blockers?
I started, I think, when I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think they helped you?
It's hard to tell because obviously I've never lived a life where I went through puberty like as a man, so it's hard for me to compare.
And I'm just curious, honestly. Do you kind of regret that?
I don't know if it's gotten to that point yet.
No, that's fine.
Again, it's hard for me to compare.
Yeah, it's a toughie, right? Because you can't like.
Notice how he said yet? I think deep down he knows something's wrong. And I say that like out of pity. Like I feel sorry for the guy. You heard what he said. 11 years old, they put him on puberty blockers. That's wicked. And the people who did that, they should pay. And I mean that.
Person, right?
If I stop taking them completely, it will be reversed.
Okay.
And I will eventually go through male puberty and become a man, which I am considering.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, right? But I believe that you should pray. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I do. Right? Okay, so hear me out. I think that living with your natural design would give you more peace than I think you might realize.
Okay, thank you. Can you send my arm, please? As like a little memento.
All right.
Wait, where's the pen? Thank you. Here.
All right. All right. I don't know if that helps or not.
No, it does. Thank you so much.
We got another clip coming up, guys, so just hang tight. That's gonna come right now. To address this real fast, first of all, I'm gonna pray for that guy. I urge for all of you guys to do the same. He seems like a genuinely decent person, and it's terrible that what it's been done to him. He's been preyed on, and it's not his fault. So I wanna make a point to say that, and I really mean that. As far as that question Kirk asked about well, what about the drugs? Are you gonna be able to go through puberty still? And the guy answered, yeah. No, actually, probably not. That kind of stuff permanently stunts your growth in a way that the human body just can't rebound from. And so one of these commonly taught lies by the people who are in favor of this, gender transition stuff is they'll say, oh, it's just like a pause button. Boop, hit the puberty blockers, pause. And then if you decide later you don't want it, it's all good. It's a total lie. It's not true. We have cases now of what people will call detransitioners. One that comes to mind is Chloe. People who have been told, oh yeah, you're this gender, like go ahead, pump the hormones, do the surgery, whatever. And then later in life, they come to regret it. And Chloe, for instance, she's a girl. She says that she's never gonna be able to have kids now. And that's likely because of what was done to her by these predatory doctors and things like that during her lifetime. Also, do you know what they give for the chemical castration drug? I say chemical castration because that's exactly what it is, Lupron. This is given to child predators so they can have less sexual urges and not be tempted to go after children. The so-called medical professionals will prescribe that for their gender-affirming care of minors. Orwellian term, by the way, gender-affirming care. It's presenting as the opposite of what it is. If anything, you're denying their sex. You're not affirming any gender. You're denying the sex that God gave them. It's simple as that. Well, guys, let's move on to the next clip, which is also related to this exact same topic.
What do you mean by men are women, and why is it such a
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. The second part of your question, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Why is it the topic that
Oh,
you
yeah,
care
well,
about?
it sparks conversation for sure. I think it's also just rather fundamental to be able to, organize a society if we can't agree what men and women are, right? So, but yeah, I believe gender and sex are the same thing, and biological reality shouldn't be ignored.
So why? I mean, that's not quite my question. Like, because I understand that.
Okay,
as
sure,
your
yeah.
argument. But what compels you to sit on a college campus and talk about it? Like, why is it a topic you're passionate about?
Well, it amazingly meets disagreement. and I'm curious as to how on earth someone could disagree with this. So I think that's worth kind of exploring and kind of talking about. And I also think it's kind of insane to believe that men can become women and women can become men.
I see, like, I understand that that's your stance, and
Yes.
I agree with it, and I don't think that there's, I don't think
So
that
you're
either
asking
of
like
us
what
are gonna-
drives me to come here and
Yeah.
talk about it?
Because I don't think I'm going to change your mind, and I don't think you're going to change mine. So
Yeah, no, and like, but part of it is like, if we're not, maybe you'll make a point I won't think of, probably not, but maybe you will, right? Because I do this a lot. Maybe I'll make a point you'll think of. But also, like, I'm a big believer that public and open and sometimes provocative speech is fundamental to a free society, right? It pushes boundaries, it gets people out of their comfort zone, it makes you live in a less totalitarian moment, at least in that instant, right? So I just think it's really healthy. I think it makes you more human, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you're like, oh, like, that's really stupid. You just keep walking. Like, find
Yeah.
way around here.
Well, I
Right?
guess, okay, so because I feel like there's not a lot that I could say that you haven't heard.
Yeah, I mean,
which is why
sure.
my main thinking on the topic is that for a lot of people, for trans people, I don't know if you're, for a lot of trans people, like, it's a matter of life and death to express themselves the way they want to and embrace the identity they want to, and to use the pronouns that they care about. And what is it to you to not respect
Yeah,
that? Like,
so-
why do you?
There's two separate issues. We could go on endlessly, and it probably wouldn't get anywhere where I would be like my own personal opinions on that.
Right.
But the more important question is, how does society react to it, right? That's the more important question. So I'm not going to convince trans people they're not what they say they are. Like, that's a waste of time. The question is, should we change bathrooms, like college sports? You know, that's the more important question, right? Should we teach this stuff in schools? And I would say, I mean, the moral question from my perspective is that I believe people, first and foremost, born as biological men, right, should not be allowed to exploit or damage or harm people that do not have the same testosterone, bone density, or muscle mass. Let's just take, like, athletics, right? So NCAA women's swimmer champion Thomas was a man, transitioned to a woman, wins the NCAA championship, right? So that's a moral question where I say, okay, you can think whatever you want, but you should have to compete your own your chromosome should dictate what athletic competition you're in, right? So you say it's a matter of life and death. I think doing therapy, whatever, but your therapy shouldn't be disenfranchising other female athletes.
All solid points by Kirk there, especially about the whole sports thing. I find it interesting. Why is this girl more concerned about the respect of saying these fake pronouns than she is about men going and beating up women in sports? You'd think that would be a little more of an issue, but whatever. But that aside, addressing her respecting directly, she's so concerned about the respect of saying these made up pronouns. How about respecting people who want to live in reality instead of basking in delusion? Where's the respect for those people? Seems it's quite lacking. Chew on that. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. We really appreciate you coming here. Please comment below. Let us know what you liked, what you want to see next. And we'll see you guys again very soon. God bless.